Bonjour à tous et bienvenue. Welcome to French with Prachi. In the last video, we saw the first part of the first unit. This is Tricolore the unité en wheel. We discussed all this different kinds of shops in French. We solved this exercise. We discussed a little bit of partitive article, how important it is in French. Today, we are going to start with question 2, the second part of the first unit. The Gale va en ville. Gale is going into the town. Ville can be town or a city. This particular question is about écoute. Of course, I'm gonna play the audio. Écoute les conversations, on va dans quel magasin. So what are we gonna do in this écoute? What are we supposed to do? Écoute as in listen to the conversation. Which stores are we going to? We are going in which stores. So probably there's going to be a number of stores that we already discussed here. If not, please refer to the previous video. We discussed all these different kinds of shops in French: l'épicerie, boucherie, charcuterie, boulangerie, patisserie. So probably those names would be there in the audio, and we have to write it in the order. Put the stores in the correct order. Put the stores in the bon ordre, that is correct order. Example is already given. I'm gonna play the audio and I'll write the answers for you here for your reference. Let me start the audio first.
Unité 1, page 9. Activité 2. Gaël, va en ville. Viens Gaël, on va en ville.
Super! Moi, je voudrais un magazine sur la musique.
Mais non, on ne va pas acheter de magazine. Tu as déjà beaucoup de magazines.
Mais papa...
Bonjour madame. Vous avez des croissants?
Bien sûr, j'ai des croissants, des pains au chocolat, des gâteaux.
Je voudrais aussi un grand gâteau.
Non, pas aujourd'hui. 4 croissants, s'il vous plaît.
Alors, on va acheter un magazine?
Non. Bonjour madame. 6 timbres pour des cartes postales, s'il vous plaît.
Vous vendez des magazines ici?
Ah non, nous n'avons pas de magazine. Gaël, ça suffit.
Vous désirez?
Une bouteille d'eau minérale, 2 paquets de chips et de la confiture de fraises, s'il vous plaît.
Est-ce que vous avez des magazines ici?
Gaël. Bonjour monsieur. 500 grammes de steak, s'il vous plaît. Voilà.
Et maintenant, on achète mon magazine?
Non. Bonjour madame. 6 tranches de jambon, s'il vous plaît, et 2 portions de salade de tomates.
Alors, c'est tout? On va acheter mon magazine maintenant? Regarde, voici la librairie papeterie.
D'accord, d'accord. Bonjour madame. Je voudrais ce magazine d'informatique, s'il vous plaît. Et un magazine sur la musique pour Gaël.
Merci papa, tu es gentil.
Okay, so in this particular order, the audio was played, and this was the order in which the shops kept coming in the audio, and we're supposed to write it in the correct order. The audio was about a boy who was asking about magazine, and the papa continuously refused it, and so on and so forth. They kept going in some or other shops, and that is what the audio was about. If you find the audio a little fast, my take a little tip would be to reduce the speed, try to understand it, try to understand the pronunciation, and practice more. This is where most of the French students find difficulty in. Having said that, let's move on. Strategies. This particular box here is about the introduction of faux amis, that is false friends. Lot of English words are quite similar to French, where you feel the meaning is also same, just like as English, but it's not. It's false ami, that is false friends. As you can see here, there are some examples given, and you can find a little more. Have the list and be aware of those false friends, and do not mistake those words and feel the meaning as same as English. Moving ahead to ici, j'achète. Question 3. Complétez les phrases avec du, de la, etc. Now, du, de la is what we saw here, partitive article. It means some. As I have told you even in the previous video, in French, you cannot write any food item or anything as singular, like, I eat bread. No, you have to write, I eat some bread. And how do you write some in French? It is given in this particular table. If it is masculine, you will have to use du. If it is feminine, you have to use de la. If the word is starting with a vowel, then you skip your A and you put apostrophe, and for plural it is de. With this, let's try this particular exercise. Complète les phrases avec du, de la, etc. First one is already solved for you, but I'll translate it for you and write the meaning. À l'épicerie, the grocery store. At the grocery store, j'achète du beurre et de l'eau minérale. I buy some butter and some mineral water. though it finds little funny in English, but that is what the language demands. You have to write some for the food items, for things that need partitive article. Numéro 2, à la boulangerie. On achète un baguette. Now I can see baguette here is plurial, and for plural we write what? Des. Des baguettes, some baguette. Moving ahead. À la charcuterie, on vend un jambon. Now here they have already given that jambon is masculine. A salad femina, the tomate. So no need to rack your heads. It's masculine, so of course you will be writing du here. And for salad, it would be de la. À la boucherie, j'achète un viande et un poulet. Viande is femina, it would be de la. And poulet here is masculine, so it would be du. Okay. The second part of question 3b, complètez les phrases avec du produit. Now here you will have to write the things that you find or you get from this particular shops. Au tabac, on peut acheter des timbres. Timbre means stamps. Have I mentioned this in the previous video? If not, I'll write it here. Timbre is stamps. I'll write here meanings. Question 3b. Timbre is stamps. So very bad with typing. Okay. Moving ahead to second one. À la librairie papeterie, on achète. Now here you can write anything that you get from the stationery shop or a bookstore. It's a bookshop and stationery shops. You can write anything. I'll go ahead and write livre. Absolutely no mistakes in spelling. Simple and yet on point. Numéro 3, à la pâtisserie, j'aime acheter At the pastry shop, I like to buy. You can write anything from what we have already discussed in the patisserie shop. Here there are options given: the pain, the gâteau, the tarte, the chocolat. Anything from this list, I will go ahead and write my favorite, the gâteau. Now again, okay. I guess accents can't, it's not possible here in this particular format. So I'll write it here for all those who need it. The spelling for gâteau. Okay, why is it not coming? Yeah. Okay, since I have written day, so I will write cakes, that is with X. Okay, moving ahead to regular ER verbs. A lot of verbs used on those in these 2 pages are regular ER verbs. These are basic ER verbs. As I have told you, verbs are categorized into 3 parts: ER, IR, and RE. These are ER verbs. Some examples here are given: je trouve, that is to find; tu aimes, you like; il, elle, on travaille, he or she works; nous achetons, we buy; vous préférez, you prefer; il, elle, we do not say it is else, it is il, elle; chercher, to look for. Two of the ER verbs used here are slightly different: acheter and prefer. If you want, I'll write down the conjugation for the same. It would be easy for you people. In all parts except the nous and vous form, it's slightly changed. Yes, there is a change in acheter. Oh, okay, it's written here. J'achète, tu achètes, elle préfère, elle préfère. So there is an accent different. Look out for accent grave on the second syllable. Okay, I'll write down this conjugation for you people for your understanding. Acheter is to buy. Is the accent, the font fine, or should I change? Okay, let's move ahead. Acheter in present tense, it is to buy. Now, here you have to remember that accents are a little different. So these are like favorite questions of the teachers just to test your understanding with the conjugation. Acheter, since it is with a vowel, you do not write E for je, you drop E and you put apostrophe. Achète. Okay. Here there will be an accent grave. J'achète, that is to buy. I buy, sorry. I buy. Tu achètes avec S, that is you buy. Il, elle achète. Again, there will be grave. No is slightly different, people here. Nous, there is no accent. Achetons, vous achetez, No accent again. For nu and vu, there will be no accent. Il, el. Ah, shit. Again, there will be an accent. And there you go for the conjugation of acheter. We can also discuss prefer. It is again little confusing. You have to practice to have a hold on this kind of conjugations. Prefer means to prefer, preferer. Now in the infinitive form, it is accent aigu on both the e's. So you have to always remember that there are two accents in infinitive form to prefer. Je prefer. When we talk about the conjugation, it is accent aigu on the first four, I will say. Je préfère, my bad, accent aigu and accent grave. Je préfère, tu préfères, again, avec S. So as you can see here, it's je, tu, both same for il and elle. It is again accent aigu and accent grave. Préfère. So je and il, elle is similar, exactly written same way. But when we talk about nous, it is accent aigu. I'm getting a hold on this, guys. Bear with me. Préférons. Okay. Nous préférons. Vous préférez. And then again, ils and elles will be accent aigu on the first E and accent grave on the second E. Préférons. Now, how to remember this? As you can see, je, tu has like if you extend this line of aigu and grave, it forms a mountain. So je, tu, mountain, mountain, mountain. And then there is two accent aigu on two e's in nu and vu. So it forms, it gives a feeling of a river. So mountain, 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 river, river, mountain. That's like a very silly but very helpful way of remembering this conjugation, because mind you, when all of it comes together, it gets confusing after a point. So you need such strategies, such tips to remember such conjugations. Okay, moving ahead to question of 4. À discuter. Now this is an oral jada hall. You can practice this with anybody who is learning French with you. À de poser des questions et répondre. So this is basically conversations between two people where one is asking question and another is responding. However, B, écrire a paragraph avec des réponses. Here you are asked to write a paragraph with the responses. So we will try and give it a chance of writing a paragraph on these questions that are given. We'll give it a shot. We'll write a paragraph. First question. Question A. Qu'est-ce que tu préfères comme fruit? What is it that you prefer in fruits, like fruits? What is it that you like in fruits? So the obvious, okay, let me just write it here for you. We can start by writing je préfère. Now préfère, we already have learned how to write with the je conjugation. It is mountain. Je préfère les pommes et les fraises. Fraise is strawberries. Comme fruit. Let's stick to the format of question and not dismantle the structure of the sentence. I prefer apples and strawberries as fruits. Let's see the second question. Qu'est-ce que tu préfères comme légume? What is it that you prefer in vegetables? So you can write, I prefer, I don't want to write the same thing. That would be too repetitive. Since it's paragraph, it could be in an essay form. You can change a little bit here and there. So I'll start writing saying, I buy. Little different, yet simple. I buy often. Often is souvent. I often buy. Say, for example, for legumes, what are you going to write? Chou. How about chou? That is cabbage. Chou fleur could be cauliflower. Chou et pomme de terre. That is potatoes. moving ahead. Est-ce que tu achètes souvent des bonbons ou du chocolat? Is it that you buy often chocolates, sweets, or some chocolates? Is it that you buy often? You can write here, j'achète souvent du chocolat, mais pas beaucoup de bonbons. I buy often chocolat, that is chocolate. Again, I'll have to repeat the sentence since it's similar structuring. J'achète souvent du chocolat, mais pas beaucoup, not a lot. The bobo, not they bobo, the bobo, because it is negative. Toi et tes copains, vous achetez beaucoup de magazines. You and your friends, you buy a lot of magazines. So I can start writing saying mes copains et moi, nous achetons, absolutely no accent here, nous and vous are exceptions. We do buy the magazine. Question 5. Do you prefer les magazines sur le sport ou sur la music? You prefer the magazines on sports or on the music? So they're asking my preference. Moi, you can start by saying moi. Je préfère accent aigu and accent grave. Je préfère les magazines sur la music parce que, if you want to add a little bit, j'adore écouter. Okay, this is accent. Just test my patience. Okay. Écouter des chansons. For me, I prefer magazines on music because I love to listen songs. You can add your stuff. There's like a small para that they have asked. Écrire un paragraphe avec des réponses. D'accord. Et on y va, the last part. Phonetic, you can always practice your pronunciation with such box that are given in a lot of subunits. Okay, this is where we end today's video. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next video. Au revoir.